because it just really. Let's see. I'm by myself. I'll play for bits and then let's start from the beginning. Oops. Make this a bit smaller there. Way. Alright, this game is called Interrogation. You'll be deceived. So, it's an interrogation game. You have to interrogate, I guess, terrorists or something. I don't know. Hopefully, this isn't. Hopefully, that's not like too loud. Maybe that's too low. Alright, let's see here. Okay. Oops, hold on. There you go. Let's see what these are. Hold on a second. Move that there. Alright, here we go. And let's get rid of me here so I can see this. There you go. Visual novel. Explore the story. Key decisions on ethics, approach, management remain in your hands while the conversational gameplay is replaced by guided sequential dialogue. Visual novel. Detective mode. Moderately difficult conversational gameplay with detective thoughts as tips and increased campaign budget. Expect some uncanny confessions. You will be deceived. Interrogation challenge. Demanding conversational gameplay. You will need to try interrogations multiple times and may need to rewind the campaign. You know what? I'm gonna try detective mode. A few years ago. Let's see how this goes. Welcome. This will be your first drill session of the investigative interview and techniques. I guess it's paused. Not that important. Actually, let me charge my phone. Because my phone's dead. Let's see, okay? We will be bringing in a subject, a trained actor, but should fully be in character during the duration of this interview. I am considered invisible and inaudible by the actor, but I'll be guiding you along. Before an interrogation, the first thing you should do is consult the subject's file. It should give you. It should give you. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's do that. Let's see. Police Department Form 300 APDV, Supervisor Approval, Anderson Lucas, blah blah. Location of occurrence narrative, victim name narrative, incident, bike theft. Really? Wasting my time with this? Okay. Just do that. Forgot to turn myself back on. Douglas Bird is played by an actor. As per the instructor's directions, treat the actor same as you would a real subject. Mr. Bird, despite coming from well-off parents, has been taken to bike theft. We have plenty of circumstantial evidence because none of it's direct. However, we need to leverage all the leads in order to get a full confession. Okay. Well, when you're done checking the files, you can bring in a subject. Be careful though, now is not the case. The clock starts ticking. Whatever. Huh? I ain't stealing no bike, Joseph. Right, so that surprisingly didn't work. We need to get the subject in the right state of mind to give us answers. So how do we do that? We have the following tools which we can use to see the state the subject is in. This shows us, I have to move this is on the way. There you go. This shows us how to open a subject is. Looking at the pupil dilation corroborated with a few other signals. The wider the pupils are, the more open the subject is. Okay. This meter tells us how scared the subject is. By measuring pulse as well as other bodily symptoms, the quicker the heart rate, the more scared the subject is. Okay? Now you can influence these meters in all sorts of ways, from building a personal connection to exploiting their background, from coercing them into contradictions to roughing them up. Huh, interesting. Let's try to build the connection first. Be careful, some of the questions will alienate the subject. Instead of bringing them closer, other questions will seem disingenuous. As they are approached too suddenly, you will probably want to start off as soft as possible. And now this has to go back down here because I need to see that. It says in your your folks are loaded. It says you can't believe. Yep, yep, that's definitely what I did. Let's see here. Let's see. Don't be afraid to ask a question when once asking in with the subject of different data or new information on the table can yield new results. Sometimes the talks reveal new information you can further pursue. Oh, you think the senator will risk his career for the sake of a bike snatching kid, really? For probably not. Shit. So if we don't have a deal and you're found guilty, it's absolutely prison time, but I can only give you a deal if you plead guilty. They seem concerned. But, like, I mean, what would a deal look like? Okay, we got him. As you can see, his pulse is much faster right now. Now, now this is off the record, but I want you to know your options. Anytime you can stop the recorder tracking your questioning. How do I do that, though? Oh, no, it's just that. Bullshit. But again, huh? This will make people seem suspicious. The public will ask what happened, the recording will stop. You will be accused, but ultimately, it's only in a pinch, though, okay? You have means of enhanced interrogation that can get a subject scared faster. Try a couple out. The actor will just pretend to be hurt. Time to. Ah, really? Sometimes you'll be interrogating more than one guy. Switch between rooms and be sure to cross-reference the info to give you. Anyways, you get to keep your manual after you finish the academy. It's great for refreshing your memory about what you learned today. Now, okay, now wrap this up. We're ready to get a confession. We almost got him. We just have to press him on the right way. There are ways you can press an open subject and other ways you can press a terrified subject like this one. There you go. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Years later. Ah, I got an achievement. You guys, I don't think you guys can see it, but whatever. So let's put that there. Chief Anderson. Hey, I need you to come in on a case. Okay? Fisher's brought in a set of guys. They're in the interrogation rooms. Hey, we have the Vic's husband, the only witness, the robber that broke in. We need your questioning magic in there, confession, because all we got is circumstantial. You're in? Whatever. So the story is this Cox broke in armed with a low cow piece, holding this Peterson up and tying him to a chair. Wife comes in, jumps for the phone. Cox drops her with 2 shots in the back before bolting. We have the gun, no prints. This Peterson was cool as a cucumber. His wife's body just lying there in the other room. Managed to track down and also grab Cox. Street contacts helped. But we still don't have a clear picture of the murder. Check out the files, grilled him, cross-examination, get me a confession. You have this. Check the file. Heather Peterson was murdered in her living room in front of her husband, Daryl Peterson. He was found tied down in a chair, the same room he claims a burglar broke in. Let's see, broke in, armed with a low caliber gun, threatened them, tied them up, and subsequently shot Mrs. Peterson as she tried to use her cell phone. Using the description provided and tip from a local pawn shop, we managed to track down the burglar, one Jerry Munch Cox, and apprehended him. The gun was found outside the building near the fire escape that the thief used to enter or leave the premises. The evidence of the burglary is clear, but we still don't have a full picture of the murder, which Munch strongly denies committing. What complicates things is Mr. Daryl Peterson's attitude. The first detective on the scene described him as disturbingly serene. Our best hope of closing the case fast and clean is admission of guilt. Munch and Peterson both have been held for questioning. You have been tasked to extract a confession. Alright, I'm gonna need this over here then. I could stay there, I guess. Alright. Let's. No need. Born and raised in this piss hole, yeah. Like to think of it now, you know? So you say so you say you're currently unemployed. Wait, where do you work? Should we notify your arrest? They say with pride in their voice, "No, no work for me around unless you like bringing food to rich people's tables, and I don't like that. I'm too smart, you know." Oh yeah, that's really not smart. Damn. Let's see. Do you have any friends and family? They state sadness seeping to their voice. Don't you drag him into this, but I got a cousin. He's probably worried about me. Let's go with this one. No, okay. What? So this isn't your first crime, isn't it? Oh, what? You want to send me to prison for the old ones again? Alright, let's go back for that. They state defensively there wasn't anything special about it. They had the fire escape ladder, the open window, and no lights on. Okay? Let's see something. Alright. So the fire escape was already down? Were the lights on or off? Let's see. Do I look like a circus acrobat to you? Okay. Were the lights on or off? I wouldn't go in if the lights are on. Okay. Yo. Thank you. Thank you. As soon as I figured out they were home, I jumped out the back and down the fire escape ladder. I wasn't in for more than, I don't know, 5 minutes? Okay. I saw her. They erupt in anger. What? That lying shit lump. Do you think I carry rope around just in case? Nah, I'm not into that Shiobari stuff. I don't know what that even is, so. Anything new? Let's see. The gun was that shot Miss Peterson was found near the fire escape you used to escape. Someone must have dropped it or something. I told you I don't know anything about a murder. Hmm. Have you ever owned a gun? I don't touch them, Chief. Well, it's not illegal to own a weapon, Munch. It's fine if Munch. It's fine if you tell me. It would help with your story too. They shake their head. Shit, I know it ain't illegal, and my story doesn't need help because it's true. I don't touch guns. They're trouble. You say the weapon isn't yours, yet you're the only one at the scene that doesn't add up. They stayed in despair. Chief, ask anyone. Go search my house. Do whatever you want. I never had a gun. I don't know how to use one. Anyone could have dropped it there. Yeah, that's the thing. Anybody could have dropped the fucking weapon there. Uh, yeah, nothing wrong. I like gaming too. I love it. So should probably put that there. It's in the way. Uh, did you feel threatened by the couple in any way? I'm sure they're nice people, but I've never seen them, never spoke to them, or sent them a text. It's a long way of saying no. I don't think this guy did it. Um, Did you happen to see anybody in the house when you were in there? I didn't see anyone. The street was empty. I ran away as soon as I heard the voices inside. There's gotta be something missing here. I don't know what it is. Have you ever been in a criminal or group gang? Or have you ever been part of any criminal group or gang? Fuck no, never was, never will be. Lay off that shit. You ain't pinning gang activity on me. This is why you should have stayed in school. Shit, you just enlightened my path, boss. Jeez. Is that gonna work? Here we go. Okay. Alright, now I'm gonna ask some questions just here. Let's talk a bit about yourself. The first few hours must be hard. How are you handling a loss? They stay calmly. We have to move on, don't we? Alright, this is the thing. This guy's already kind of creeping me out. Like his wife was just murdered, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, we have to move on, right?" Gaming in a lack of true social context. Not saying this is it. Actually, shown elderly patients a decrease in dementia. Yeah, that's 100% true. I mean, I've seen that too. Those studies. As I said, if loss is difficult, let me know if you start feeling bad. How dare you? I was in shock. I wanted to be as helpful as possible, so I'm trying to keep my cool and be useful. Alright, let's see. Just drop the fake pleasantries as they disgust me, okay? What you went through can be very traumatic. There's no need for that. Have you taken leave from work to deal with this? No need. They fired me months ago. Okay? Where do you used to work? I probably made the chair you're sitting on right now. I used to be a carpenter. Okay? Why would you get fired? Let's see. The corrupt assholes there wanted to hire cheaper labor, immigrants and such. They didn't care. I've been working there for 6 years. All they care about is his own bottom line. These global corporations. Well, he's not wrong there. It's 100% true. So your wife was the primary earner. That pissed them off. Obviously, they raised their voice, visibly upset. Yes, she had a salary, and I did not. You sound just like her, criticizing me all the time. It can't be all roses and sunshine in one career, okay? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere because I think this dude murdered his wife, but who cares about that? Let's go back. Uh, let's ask about his wife. Does she get along with her colleagues at How are things in your marriage? They state in anger. That is quite personal. When you've been married for 7 years, things get complicated. My file does not say, but do you have any children? They state calmly. Then take a pen and write in your file, no, we have other things to occupy ourselves with. Let's see. So I understand you and your wife has frequent disagreements lately. They fix you with their stare. What are you, couples therapist? She just knew what buttons to push and start an argument. That's all. All right. Well, making sure. Can't imagine myself getting married. Cool. I really don't care. Fuck off and try and be nice. Let's see. Let's see. Do you think anyone could hate her and not plan on hurting her? Plan? What are you saying? It was planned? Alright, let's see. The burglar had some rope, loaded gun, and escape plan. All that effort to steal a few bonsai trees. Unlikely. They stay spicily. I didn't think of that. If it was really planned all along, I hope we sit comfortably in an electric chair. Well, I think it's you, motherfucker, so you're gonna want to sitting in an electric chair. Let's see. Alright, let's go back to that. Alright, let's do that. Where were you and your wife doing that night, all before it happened? They spit out their words in venom in their eyes. Being robbed by a burglar you and your fellow policeman didn't catch on time. Was there anybody else in the house? They state blankly. Quite obviously, I don't see the point of this question. I'm the one asking the questions, asshole. Let's see. Were the doors locked, lights on? They state blankly, yes, the doors were locked and the lights were on in the living room. Oh, well, here you go. The burglar tried the door first. You forgot to mention this before. I don't like liars, Mr. Peterson. The pitch of their voice raises slightly. I didn't report that. Well, yes, we heard someone at the door, but we thought it might be some beggar or something. I'm sure I mentioned it. No, you didn't. Who will believe me or some criminal? Oh, okay. Sure, he's lying, huh? Okay. So you and your wife argued often, and she blamed you for getting fired. Well, let's see. They shift uncomfortably in the chair. Yes, you got it right. She thought that because she had an income and I did not, it made her superior in some way. Wouldn't understand that if it wasn't my fault that I was fired. Ooh, so we got a motive here. She was jealous of his wife's job. So let's see. How common were these arguments? They stiffen Accord Lord, CBC. If you haven't, make sure you like, um, Reef and Collins didn't do INN News today for reasons beyond their control, so that's why I decided to do a bit of content here, a little extra for tonight before I go to sleep. So, it's already 1 a.m. in the East Coast. Wow. I have to go to sleep soon, but let me finish this. They stiffen in their chair and stare fixedly. Well, common, I was trying my best to be reasonable, but she was relentless. Even tonight, she even started one tonight over some stupid stain on my shirt. So clearly we have some issues in the marriage now. I popped in to see what this is about, and now I'm invested. Murder porn? Is this murder porn? Well, no. I mean, it's an interrogation game. We find out who committed crimes and stuff. And hell, if I wanted to, I can even use quote unquote enhanced interrogation if I wanted to, which I'm not going to. But we know what enhanced interrogation is. Uh, Now it's time to stop bullshitting me, Peterson. It is obvious to anyone that you resented what she did. A voice quivers. Yes, I deserved her respect, and she refused to give it to me. Any man in my position would feel the same. She was vicious and relentless. I couldn't have any peace and quiet. So what? So this is why you seem composed about the situation. You actually hated her. They shake nervously. Let me just put that there so you guys can see that. They shake nervously. How do you feel? How would you feel in my shoes, huh? I'm not happy she dead, but she made my life miserable. At least now I have peace and quiet. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. You definitely killed your wife, didn't you? But I'm gonna ask a little more questions first. Uh, did you hear the burglar coming in the house? Sorry, part of me feels for the guy, not sure why. Well, I still think we need to set you up with the social streams plugin. Yeah. What is that? Is that something I could? I don't know what that is exactly, but they state blankly. No, not really. We will argue quite loudly. When and where did they first see him? They stayed after pausing for a second to think. Oh, okay, that's what that is. They stayed after pausing to think when he entered the living room. We were in the living room. Is this relevant for the investigation? Yes, it is. I asked the questions, asshole, again. Uh, at one point, did the burglar pull the gun out? He had his gun out when he burst in. Alright, let's see. How did you react? How did you react when they saw the gun? They stayed calmly. I put my hands up, of course. I told him he can take whatever he wants as long as he didn't hurt us. Uh, why did he tie you down? Why did he tie you down? They stayed calmly. I guess he was scared off. I would try to fight him off. Okay. Well, did he also tie down your wife? Yes, he was telling her to sit down. When she darted towards the phone, that's when he shot her. Okay. This is all. This guy killed his wife. Let's see. What's this? You bullshitting me. You killed your wife. Honestly, Daryl, who killed your wife? They stiffened in their chair, avoiding your gaze. That damn burglar. Who do you who do you think? We may have had some problems in the marriage, but I would not lie about something like this. Bullshit. I think you murdered your wife, so you're gonna tell me. Oh, you still won't confess. Alright. Uh, Daryl harbors great resentment towards his wife, giving him a possible motive. Try finding out if he had a means of a weapon. Oh. Oh, let's see. Okay, let's go. I understand your relationship with your wife. It was becoming tense. Did you do anything let off steam? They stayed exploding in rage. Why are my hobbies relevant to this investigation? I took my gun to a nearby field and practiced shooting bottles. Ooh, you have a gun. Really? That's good news. Uh, is that what you wanted to hear? Now you're gonna arrest me now for it? No, but that gives me means. I got motive, I got means, and I have opportunity. I think you murdered your wife. Okay, you said you own a. You said you own a gun. You are not a registered gun owner. They state defensively. The state legislation doesn't say I need to register. I bought it at a gun fair anyways. What about it? Why didn't you report this sooner? It's quite dubious you would hide such a thing. They state defensively. I didn't think I had to. I didn't report the number of shoes that I own either. Hey asshole, your wife was murdered with a gun, and you didn't tell us that you had a gun, and then you have the nerve to fucking be defensive about it. All right, why didn't you try to use the gun in self-defense? I couldn't reach it in time. I was even waiting for an opportunity to test my aim on filth like him. So you were prepared for such an event, huh? They crossed their arms defensively. Seeing how dangerous the city is nowadays, criminal running loose while the police force is too corrupt to do anything about it. You have to be ready to take matters into your own hands, no offense. Most people don't wish they had an opportunity to test their aim on a human being, Peterson. What if you killed the burglar? Their voice quivers in anger. Then there would be one less piece of trash walking the streets. If most people would be willing to stand up, the streets would be much safer. Okay. Quite harsh views you have, Mr. Peterson. Do you really think the burglar deserves to die? They state resolutely while crossing their arms. Hell yes. With some people, there's no alternative. You have to take things into your own hands and get tough. Only way this world will be a better place is if the honest people stand up with force if necessary. Vigilante justice, do you think that's the solution? They fix you with their stare. There's so much filth out there, and the system's supposed to clean it up is just as dirty. If honest people like you and me don't take action, filth will drown us all. It's the only solution. Just you and me? That wouldn't change much, you think? Their voices booming with energy. There's so many of us out there who think like this. We found each other online, like-minded people willing to take up the responsibility, do the right thing. Ooh, really? We? What are you talking about? Political platform? They start speaking faster. No, no, no. Politics is their game. We play by their rules. We lose because it's a rigged game. We need to short circuit the whole system, shake up the entire establishment. Hmm. That takes a coordinated effort. So, how would that happen? They stay calmly. As this group I'm talking about, we are mostly meet online on forums, boards, chat rooms. A great place to organize ourselves and plan things out. Ooh, really? I'm interested. What sort of plans you're talking about? They speak with confidence and conviction. I don't know for sure. I don't have the rights to the chat room where things are organized, but it certainly will be big. Why don't you have access to this chat room? They shrug. You need to show some commitment beforehand. Be part of the group. What? For a while. I asked for access. I'm sure I'll get it soon. Who has access then? He smiles. The chat rooms are anonymous, of course. We know each other by our IDs, mostly veterans, people that have been involved for a long time. They assign and mentor new people. Mine is Horn Bunny 49. Silly name, I know. Horn Bunny. Interested. What needs to be discussed in such secrecy? He smiles. I don't know for sure, but it's a place where they assign actual tasks and set up meetings. Things are picking up recently. It's all very exciting to be part of the Liberation Front. Ooh, you're part of the Liberation Front. Interesting. Liberation Front is that this group's name. They state blankly. No one ever voted on anything. That's what we call it. Okay? Yep, so yeah, I think you murdered your wife, so let's just do this because this is not bullshit around anymore. It's clear to me you have no love for your wife. You resent her. I would go as far as say you hate her. The voice is quivering. I did hate her, yes. I hated her arrogance. I hated her friends. I hated her fucking bonsai trees. I hated the disrespect she had for me. Doesn't mean I would hurt her. And even more that night, you had an argument. You also saw a huge opportunity to blame the murderer of some burglar you spotted coming in. Is that right? They blabber. I mean, what do you mean? Listen, Peterson, I have you on record saying that you hated your wife and you planned dangerous activities online. If you don't confess, I'll make sure you're convicted for terrorist intent and you rot in prison for the rest of your miserable life. Interrogation successful. With the confession. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me get rid of myself here for a second so I can see this. Interrogation successful. With the confession secured, Daryl Peterson will be gone to jail for a long time. What is this Liberation Front business, though? Oops. Continue. Oops, again. I keep doing that shit. Let's move that there, because that's in the way. Good work in there. I have something important to discuss with you. But before that, I need you to finish the press release for putting out about this case. Help them word it. Then come see me. Okay? The investigation. You know what? I do need to use the bathroom. So, oops, hold on. So I'll be back in a. Alright, here we go. Let me actually do that. Okay. So, the investigation involving the murder of Heather Peterson was concluded today, which resulted in the arrest of Daryl Peterson. CBC, a nice piss card and great music. Well, thank you. You know, I mean, I did need to use the bathroom, so that's why. And usually, that's why I said that. But the investigation involving the murder of Heather Peterson was concluded today, which resulted in the arrest of Daryl Peterson, 41, and Jerry Cox, 26. All evidence pertaining to the case was directed to the relevant authorities with the full cooperation of counsel of the STPD prosecutor counselor. Okay, let's see. They would be treated following judicial procedure. Okay. The criminals have been incarcerated, and their cases will be taken from the court. Hmm. They'd be treated. They would be treated following judicial procedure. Let's do that. The criminals have been incarcerated. And their cases will be taken to criminal court. Daryl Peterson, not initially a subject. The main subject confessed. Let's go. Let's go with this one. Not initially a suspect, confessed to the murder during questioning, although he initially attempted to hide his involvement by staging a violent robbery. Evidence found at the scene contradicted parts of his description of the event. The police would be advancing charges of. It's not like first degree murder to me. I mean, he planned it all along. Due to confession, the manslaughter charge against Jerry Cox had been dropped, and he only faced prosecution for breaking and entering. His involvement in creating circumstances for the murder will be investigated further. Evidence suggests he had no violent intent in connection to the murder. Oh, that's my report. Oops. Pick an old memory. demon, scholar of ideology, profiler, intimidating presence, known pacifist. Oh, profiler? Reading reactions and emotional states is a science too. You have an evaluation in numbers and how fearful and apathetic the subjects are. Let's do that. This Liberation Front business you got out of Peterson, it seems to be pretty serious stuff. They've been claiming more and more hits and seem to be behind things like assaults on politicians. They appear to be expanding their operation, chiefly in our city. So I talked it over with the powers that be and we decided you're the best person for the job. Okay. You'll be heading up a small unit to combat these guys. We are pulling some of the best people from other departments to work with you. Nice. I'm not going to lie, this unit will mean all eyes on you. Try to keep everyone happy. But most importantly, stop these bastards. Rest up, see you tomorrow. Sounds good. Congratulations on your new assignment, detective. Let me introduce you to some of the people you're working with. This is Tab Thompson, analyst extraordinaire. I look forward to addressing the threat of the Liberation Front with you, detective. This is Jennifer Reyes, organized crime department's best. Delighted, detective. Mordecai Fisher, who we pulled from homicide, will also be helping you out in the field. I'll leave you to it. Shall we head out and talk shop over at Hannigan's? The meeting room is not being used. Sounds great. Get some drinks. We got some live action, boss. Morty's out there with some badges grabbing our three subset subs suspects. Jesus, I can't read right now. Maybe I'm sleepy. For that, Horn Bunny might be. I do hope Mr. Fisher practices restraint. I know him to be rather abusive in bringing people in. Jennifer says I'm gonna get the rooms ready. There's an update being pushed to the chat's room software. Darn, seems like the Liberation Front have found out about our move. They triggered the reallocation of passwords into the chat room. It's a matter of minutes before the current password become useless. We need to acquire a new one ASAP. They're here. Get ready to interrogate them. We'll line up the files. You know what? I guess I'm going to leave it off here because it's like 1:20 in the morning. I'm tired. I need to get some sleep. So right now, let's hold on a second. Let's go here. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to wrap up for now because I am like pretty tired right now and yeah, so that's the first episode of this interrogation. You will be deceived. So far so good, I think. I do plan on continue playing Spec Ops: The Line because that'll probably be over the weekend though. But I will get back to this game because I enjoyed it so far. I do like police procedure, interrogations, and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it a lot. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments section below if you like this game or not. I will get back to Spec Ops: The Line over the weekend most likely because, like I talked about earlier in the afternoon, it's going to snow and it's going to snow quite a bit. So I'll probably be home all weekend. So make sure you check out Angel in the Afternoon on Friday at 7 with myself, Witchy Perfect, and Alex. So check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video and INN's channels in general. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'm going to see you guys on Friday because I'm definitely not streaming tomorrow because I'm pretty tired right now. And peace out. Good night. Get